Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Wisdom Library. I'm so glad you found your way here tonight. This is a place where you can rest while exploring ideas that matter, where you can let your mind wander gently through wisdom traditions while your body settles into the comfort it deserves. Tonight, we're going to explore something beautiful from Japanese culture, a concept that has quietly shaped lives for centuries. We're going to talk about Ikigai, your reason for being, your purpose for waking up each morning. But we're going to do this slowly, gently, without pressure or urgency. There's nowhere you need to be right now except here, breathing softly, letting these ideas wash over you like gentle waves. Before we settle in a little deeper, I want to gently mention that if this kind of slow, calming wisdom feels supportive to you, you're warmly invited to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a quiet comment if you feel like it. You don't need to remember everything you hear tonight. You don't need to take notes or make plans. Just let yourself be here, listening, drifting, allowing whatever resonates to settle naturally into your awareness. Some of what you hear might feel familiar, like coming home to something you've always known. Other parts might surprise you, opening doors you didn't know existed. So find a comfortable position, let your shoulders drop. Soften your jaw. Take a slow, easy breath and let it out even more slowly. We have all the time in the world to explore this beautiful concept together. There's no rush, no deadline, no pressure. Just you, this moment, and the quiet wisdom of a culture that has spent centuries understanding what it means to live well. Let's begin by understanding what Ikigai actually is. The word itself is composed of two Japanese characters, Iki, meaning life, and Gai, meaning value or worth. Together, they create something that translates loosely as a reason for being or a reason to wake up in the morning. But like many profound concepts, Ikigai is larger than its translation. It's not just about having a purpose. It's about the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be valued for. It's where passion meets mission, where vocation meets profession, where all the different parts of your life come together in harmony. In Japanese culture, Ikigai isn't something you find once and hold forever. It's not a destination you reach and then stop moving. Instead, it's something that evolves with you throughout your life, shifting and changing as you grow, as your circumstances change, as you discover new aspects of yourself and the world around you. For some people, Ikigai might be found in their work. For us, it might be in their relationships, their hobbies, their contributions to their community, or in the simple daily rituals that bring them joy and meaning. The concept of Ikigai is deeply rooted in Japanese philosophy and daily life, particularly in the practices and mindsets of people living in the blue zones. Those rare places on Earth where people regularly live past 100 years old. One of these blue zones is Okinawa, a collection of islands in southern Japan where the concept of Ikigai is woven into the fabric of everyday existence. The people of Okinawa don't talk about retirement in the way many Western cultures do. There's not even a word for retirement in their dialect. Instead, they continue to engage with their Ikigai throughout their entire lives, finding purpose and meaning in their daily activities well into their 90s and beyond. When researchers began studying these communities, trying to understand why people there lived so much longer and seemed so much happier than in other parts of the world, Ikigai emerged as one of the key factors. It wasn't just about diet, though the Okinawan diet is certainly healthy. It wasn't just about exercise, though people there do tend to move more throughout the day. It was about having a reason to get up in the morning, a sense that your life matters, that you have something to contribute, that there's meaning in your existence beyond simply surviving another day. Let's explore this more deeply. Imagine waking up each morning with a clear sense of why you're here, what you're meant to do today, what brings you joy and fulfillment. Not in a grand, overwhelming way, but in a gentle, sustainable way. That's Ikigai. It might be as simple as tending to your garden, knowing that your hands in the soil connect you to something larger than yourself. It might be teaching children, watching their eyes light up when they understand something new. It might be creating art, writing stories, solving problems, helping neighbors, or caring for animals. Ikigai doesn't have to be monumental. It just has to be yours, authentic and true to who you are. The traditional model of Ikigai that has become popular in recent years presents it as a Venn diagram with 4 overlapping circles. The first circle represents what you love, your passions, the things that make your heart sing. The second circle represents what you're good at, your talents and skills, the things you can do well. The third circle represents what the world needs, the ways you can contribute and serve others. And the fourth circle represents what you can be paid for, the practical aspect of sustaining yourself while doing what matters to you. Where all 4 of these circles overlap, right in the center, that's where your Ikigai lives. It's the sweet spot where passion meets skill, where mission meets profession, where you're doing something you love that you're also good at, that serves others, and that allows you to support yourself. It sounds almost too perfect, doesn't it? And in truth, it is rare to find something that perfectly balances all 4 elements. But that's not the point. The point is to move toward that center, to find ways to bring more of those elements into alignment in your life. However, it's important to understand that this 4-circle model, while useful, is actually a Western interpretation of Ikigai. In Japan, particularly among the elders of Okinawa, Ikigai is understood in a more flexible, less structured way. It's not about finding the one perfect thing that checks all the boxes. It's about finding meaning in your daily life, whatever form that takes. Your Ikigai might not involve money at all. It might be something you do for free, something you do simply because it brings you joy and connects you to others. For many people in Okinawa, Ikigai is found in their moai, their social circles of friends who have known each other since childhood and continue to support each other throughout their lives. These groups meet regularly, share meals together, support each other through difficulties, and celebrate each other's joys. The commitment to these relationships, the showing up for each other, the being part of something larger than yourself, this is Ikigai. It's not a job or a passion project. It's simply the meaningful connection with other human beings. Let's slow down for a moment. Take a breath. Notice how your body feels right now. Are you starting to relax? Are there still places holding tension? That's okay. Just notice without judgment. Let yourself sink a little deeper into wherever you're resting. There's no hurry. We have so much more to explore, and we're going to take our time with it. Now, let's look at the historical and philosophical roots of Ikigai. The concept doesn't exist in isolation. It's connected to broader streams of Japanese philosophy and spirituality, drawing from both indigenous Shinto beliefs and Buddhism, which came to Japan from China and Korea in the 6th century. In Shinto, there's a deep reverence for nature and the divine spirit that exists in all things, animate and inanimate. This perspective creates a sense that everything has value, everything has purpose, everything is connected. Your life isn't separate from the life of the trees, the rivers, the mountains. You're part of an interconnected web of existence, and your purpose is tied to that larger whole. Buddhism brought its own wisdom to Japan, particularly the concepts of mindfulness, impermanence, and the reduction of suffering through right action and right livelihood. The Buddhist principle of right livelihood suggests that your work should not cause harm to others and should contribute positively to the world. This aligns beautifully with the Ikigai principle of doing what the world needs. It's not enough to just do what you love and what you're good at. Your Ikigai should also serve others in some way, should contribute to the reduction of suffering and the increase of well-being in the world. There's also a strong influence from Confucian thought in Japanese culture, with its emphasis on social harmony, fulfilling your role within your community, and the importance of continuous self-improvement. Confucianism teaches that you have responsibilities to your family, your community, and your society, and that fulfillment comes from meeting those responsibilities with integrity and dedication. This sense of duty and contribution feeds into the Ikigai concept of what the world needs from you. But perhaps most influential to Ikigai is the Japanese aesthetic philosophy of wabi-sabi, the appreciation of imperfection, impermanence, and incompleteness. Wabi-sabi teaches us to find beauty in things that are simple, modest, and humble. It reminds us that nothing lasts forever, that everything is in a constant state of change, and that there's profound beauty in accepting this rather than fighting against it. When we apply wabi-sabi to Ikigai, we understand that our purpose doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be grand or impressive. It can be small, imperfect, always evolving, and still be deeply meaningful. The people of Okinawa embody this wabi-sabi approach to Ikigai. Their purposes are often humble and rooted in daily life. One woman's Ikigai might be making traditional Okinawan pottery, creating simple bowls and cups that people use every day. Another person's Ikigai might be tending to the family altar, maintaining the connection between the living and the ancestors. Someone else might find their Ikigai in growing bitter melon in their garden and sharing the harvest with neighbors. These aren't grand, world-changing purposes, but they're deeply meaningful to the individuals who hold them. Let's explore some specific examples of Ikigai from Okinawa and other parts of Japan. There's a man in Okinawa named Ojimi in his 90s, whose Ikigai is karate. He has practiced the martial art since he was a young boy, and he continues to teach it to younger generations. For him, karate isn't just about physical movement or self-defense. It's a way of connecting to the history of Okinawa, where karate originated. It's a way of passing down knowledge and discipline to young people. It's a way of maintaining his own health and vitality. And it's something he simply loves, has always loved, for as long as he can remember. All the elements of Ikigai are present. He loves it. He's extraordinarily skilled at it. The community values it and learns from him. And though he doesn't charge for lessons, his reputation brings him respect and sometimes gifts from grateful students. There's a woman in her 80s whose Ikigai is making traditional Okinawan textiles. She learned the craft from her grandmother, and now she teaches it to anyone interested in learning. The process is slow and meditative, requiring patience and attention. Each piece takes weeks or months to complete. For her, the act of weaving connects her to her ancestors, to the women who came before her and kept this tradition alive. It connects her to the natural world as the dyes come from plants she grows herself. It connects her to her community as people wear the garments she makes during festivals and ceremonies. And in the quiet rhythm of the loom, she finds peace and purpose. In Tokyo, far from the slow pace of Okinawa, a salaryman in his 50s discovered his Ikigai after decades of feeling lost. He had climbed the corporate ladder, achieved success by conventional standards, but felt empty inside. On a whim, he took a calligraphy class, something he'd been interested in as a child, but had abandoned for more practical pursuits. The moment brush touched paper, something awakened in him. He began practicing every day, before work and after work, gradually improving. He joined a calligraphy circle where he met others who shared his passion. Eventually, he began teaching calligraphy to children on weekends. He still works his corporate job, but now it's just something he does to pay the bills. His real life, his Ikigai, happens in those hours with brush and ink, creating beauty and teaching others to do the same. These stories illustrate something important about Ikigai. It's not always your career. In fact, for many people, it's not. The Western obsession with making your passion your career, with monetizing everything you love, can actually be harmful to Ikigai. When you turn your passion into your job, you introduce pressures and obligations that can drain the joy out of it. Sometimes, the healthiest approach is to have work that pays the bills and is reasonably satisfying, while pursuing your true Ikigai in your free time, without the pressure of it needing to support you financially. Let's pause again. How are you feeling? Is your breathing deeper now? Are you starting to drift? That's perfectly fine. You don't need to stay alert. If you fall asleep while listening, that's exactly what this is for. The ideas will still be there tomorrow if you want to return to them. For now, just let yourself be exactly where you are, in whatever state of consciousness feels right. Now, let's explore the connection between Ikigai and longevity. As mentioned earlier, Okinawa is one of the world's blue zones, and researchers have identified Ikigai as one of the key factors in the remarkable longevity and health of its residents. But how exactly does having a sense of purpose extend your life? The mechanisms are both psychological and physiological. From a psychological perspective, Ikigai gives you a reason to take care of yourself. When you have something you're living for, something that gets you out of bed in the morning, you're more likely to make healthy choices. You're more likely to eat well, to move your body, to get enough sleep, to maintain social connections. You're less likely to fall into depression or give up when faced with challenges. Having a sense that your life matters, that you have something to contribute, creates resilience. There's also the stress reduction factor. Chronic stress is one of the major killers in modern society, contributing to heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, and a host of other health problems. When you have Ikigai, when you feel that your life has meaning and purpose, you experience less chronic stress. This doesn't mean you never encounter stressful situations, but it means you have a framework for dealing with them, a sense that even difficult moments are part of a larger, meaningful journey. This reduction in chronic stress has profound effects on physical health, reducing inflammation, improving immune function, and protecting cardiovascular health. From a physiological perspective, researchers have found that people with a strong sense of purpose have lower levels of inflammatory markers in their blood, better cardiovascular health, and even different patterns of gene expression. A study published in the journal Psychological Science found that having a sense of purpose in life was associated with reduced risk of cardiovascular disease and death from all causes. Another study found that purpose in life was associated with better cognitive function and reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease. The social connection aspect of Ikigai also contributes to longevity. In Okinawa, people's Ikigai is often intimately connected to their relationships and their role in their community. They're not isolated individuals pursuing solitary goals. They're part of moai groups, extended families, community organizations. This social integration is itself a powerful predictor of health and longevity. Humans are social creatures, and we suffer both mentally and physically when we're disconnected from others. But there's something even deeper happening here, something that's harder to measure, but equally important. When you have Ikigai, you're living with a sense of flow, of alignment between who you are and what you're doing. This creates a kind of ease, a reduction in the internal friction that so many people experience when they're living lives that don't fit them, doing work they don't care about, going through the motions without real engagement. That constant internal conflict, that sense of being in the wrong place doing the wrong thing, takes a toll. Ikigai eliminates that toll, or at least reduces it significantly. Let's look at how Ikigai relates to work and career, since this is where many people in modern society seek meaning and purpose. In Western culture, particularly in the United States, work has become almost synonymous with identity. When you meet someone new, one of the first questions asked is usually, "What do you do?" Meaning, what do you do for work? Your job is expected to provide not just income, but also meaning, purpose, social connection, and a sense of identity. That's a heavy burden for any job to carry. In Japan, the relationship with work is complex. There's the phenomenon of karoshi, death by overwork. where people literally work themselves to death. The salaryman culture of long hours, intense dedication to the company, and sacrifice of personal life for professional success has been well documented. This might seem to contradict the Ikigai concept, but it actually represents what happens when Ikigai is lost or distorted. When work becomes pure obligation, when you're working not because it brings you meaning, but because you feel you have no choice. When your company demands everything and gives back only a paycheck, that's not Ikigai. That's suffering. True Ikigai in work comes when there's alignment between what you're doing and those 4 elements. You enjoy the work itself, you're good at it, it serves others or contributes something valuable to the world, and it provides for your needs. This is rare, admittedly. Most jobs meet some of these criteria, but not all. But even in an imperfect work situation, you can find elements of Ikigai by focusing on the aspects that do align with your values and bring you satisfaction. For instance, maybe your job isn't your dream career, but you have a coworker who makes you laugh every day, and helping them with difficult tasks brings you joy. That's a thread of Ikigai. Maybe the product your company makes isn't particularly meaningful to you, but you're excellent at organizing and streamlining processes. And you take satisfaction in making systems work more efficiently. That's Ikigai. Maybe you work in customer service and the job is often frustrating, but you know that on your best days, you genuinely help people solve problems and make their lives a little easier. That's Ikigai. The key is not expecting your job to be everything, to fulfill all your needs for meaning and purpose. Instead, look for the elements that do bring satisfaction and meaning, and cultivate those. And if your work provides little in the way of Ikigai, that's okay too. Make sure you have other areas of your life where you do experience that sense of purpose and engagement. There's a concept in Japanese culture called shigoto, which means work, but it has layers of meaning. The characters that make up shigoto can also be read as doing something, and there's an implication of it being work that serves others or society. Good shigoto isn't just labor for its own sake or for personal gain. It's work that contributes to the collective good. When your work has this quality, when you can see how what you do helps others, even in small ways, it can become part of your Ikigai. Let's take a breath here. Feel your chest rise and fall. Notice the air moving in and out of your body. You're doing great. You're exactly where you need to be. Let your eyes stay closed if they've drifted shut. Let your muscles go soft. We still have so much to explore, but there's no pressure to absorb it all. Just let it wash over you. Now let's turn to how you might discover or develop your own Ikigai. This isn't a quick process. It's not something you figure out in an afternoon by filling out a worksheet or taking a quiz. Discovering your Ikigai is a journey that might take months or years, and that's perfectly fine. It's also something that will likely evolve throughout your life. So what you discover now might shift and change as you grow and change. The first step in discovering Ikigai is honest self-reflection. You need to spend time thinking about and feeling into what truly matters to you. What brings you joy? What do you care about? This requires creating space in your life for quiet contemplation, which can be challenging in our busy, distracted world. But it's essential. You might start with journaling, writing freely about your interests, your values, your memories of times when you felt most alive and engaged. You might spend time in nature, walking or sitting quietly, allowing thoughts and feelings to arise without forcing them. Ask yourself, what did you love to do as a child before you learned to judge yourself or worry about being practical? What activities make you lose track of time? When do you feel most like yourself? What problems in the world make you feel angry or sad, suggesting that solving them might be part of your purpose? What do people often ask for your help with? What comes easily to you that others seem to struggle with? These questions don't have quick, easy answers. You have to sit with them, return to them multiple times. Note what patterns emerge. Maybe you realize that you've always been drawn to helping people feel better, whether through words, through physical care, through creating beautiful spaces, or through making them laugh. Maybe you notice that you light up when you're learning something new, that curiosity is a core part of who you are. Maybe you realize that you've always been bothered by waste and disorder, and that creating systems and efficiency brings you deep satisfaction. The second step is experimentation. Once you have some ideas about what might bring you Ikigai, you need to try things out. You can't think your way to Ikigai. You have to live your way there. This means being willing to try new activities, learn new skills, put yourself in new situations. If you think you might enjoy teaching, volunteer to teach a workshop or tutor someone. If you're drawn to gardening, start a small garden and see how it feels to tend it day after day. If you're interested in a particular craft, take a class and give it a real try. Not just a single session, but enough time to get past the awkward beginner phase. This experimentation phase can feel uncomfortable, especially for adults who are used to being competent. You might feel clumsy and foolish as you try new things. That's okay. Remember wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfection. You don't need to be good at something immediately for it to potentially be part of your Ikigai. Give yourself permission to be a beginner. The third step is patience. Ikigai doesn't reveal itself all at once. It emerges gradually as you pay attention to what energizes you and what drains you, what feels meaningful and what feels empty. You're looking for a sense of rightness, a feeling that this is what you're supposed to be doing. Not in a dramatic, destiny-calling way necessarily, but in a quiet, settled way. When you're engaged in your Ikigai, even when it's difficult or challenging, there's an underlying sense of satisfaction and purpose. It's also important to distinguish between Ikigai and mere pleasure or entertainment. Ikigai involves some level of challenge and growth. It's not just about feeling good in the moment. It's about feeling that your life has meaning and that you're developing as a person. Watching television might be pleasant, but it's probably not your Ikigai unless you're a film critic or studying storytelling for some deeper purpose. The activities that constitute Ikigai usually involve some effort, some stretching of your capabilities, some giving of yourself. Let's consider the role of hardship and difficulty in Ikigai. This is something that's often glossed over in Western interpretations of the concept. Ikigai doesn't mean your life is always easy or pleasant. In fact, the people in Okinawa, who have the strongest sense of Ikigai have often faced significant hardships. Many of them lived through World War II, endured poverty, lost loved ones. Their Ikigai didn't protect them from suffering, but it gave them a reason to keep going, to rebuild, to find meaning even in difficulty. There's a concept in Japanese culture called gamen, which means enduring the seemingly unbearable with patience and dignity. It's not about being a martyr or glorifying suffering, but about recognizing that hardship is part of life and that you can face it with grace and resilience. When you have Ikigai, gamen becomes easier because the difficulties you face are in service of something meaningful. You're not just suffering randomly. You're facing challenges as part of your larger purpose. This is relevant for anyone seeking Ikigai in the modern world. You will face obstacles, setbacks, and difficulties. Your Ikigai won't protect you from that, but it will give you a framework for understanding those difficulties as part of your journey, rather than as meaningless obstacles. When you're pursuing your Ikigai and you encounter a challenge, you can say to yourself, "This is hard, but it's part of what I'm here to do. I can endure this because it matters." Let's explore the different domains where people commonly find Ikigai. While Ikigai is unique to each individual, there are certain areas of life where it tends to cluster. Understanding these can help you think about where to look for your own purpose. One common domain is creative expression. Many people find Ikigai in creating things, whether that's visual art, music, writing, crafts, cooking, gardening, or any other form of bringing something new into the world. There's something deeply satisfying about making things, about taking raw materials or ideas and shaping them into something beautiful, useful, or meaningful. Creative Ikigai often combines passion and skill in obvious ways. You love the act of creation, and as you practice, you become more skilled, which increases your satisfaction and the quality of what you create. Another common domain is service and care. Some people find their deepest meaning in taking care of others, whether that's children, elderly parents, students, patients, clients, or their community. This is Ikigai that's heavily weighted toward what the world needs. It's about seeing a need and feeling called to meet it. People whose Ikigai is in service often describe a sense of fulfillment that comes from making someone else's life better, from reducing suffering or increasing well-being for others. A third domain is learning and mastery. For some people, Ikigai is found in the pursuit of excellence in a particular skill or field of knowledge. This might be a martial art, a craft, an academic subject, a sport, or any discipline that offers endless depth. These are people who find meaning in the journey of continuous improvement, who are motivated by the challenge of getting better, of understanding more deeply, of mastering something that few others have mastered. Their Ikigai is in the practice itself, not in any external goal or achievement. A fourth domain is connection and relationship. For many people, particularly in cultures like Japan that emphasize social harmony and interdependence, Ikigai is found primarily in relationships. Your purpose might be being a good friend, a devoted family member, an active community participant. It's about showing up for the people in your life, about being someone others can rely on. about creating and maintaining bonds of affection and mutual support. A fifth domain is stewardship and preservation. Some people find Ikigai in taking care of things, whether that's the natural environment, cultural traditions, historical sites, or accumulated knowledge. Their purpose is about maintaining and passing on something valuable, about being a bridge between past and future. This might look like environmental conservation, historic preservation, teaching traditional crafts, or maintaining cultural practices. These domains often overlap and combine. Your Ikigai might involve creative expression in service to others, like making music for hospice patients. It might involve learning and connection, like becoming an expert in your field so you can mentor younger colleagues. It might involve stewardship and service, like protecting a local forest so future generations can enjoy it. Take a moment now to think, gently, without pressure, about which of these domains resonates with you. Where have you felt glimpses of purpose in your own life? Don't worry if nothing jumps out at you clearly. This is just a starting place for reflection. Let's talk about Ikigai across the lifespan, because your purpose naturally evolves as you move through different stages of life. In childhood, Ikigai is often intuitive and unexamined. Children naturally gravitate toward what interests them, what brings them joy. A child's Ikigai might be playing with friends, building elaborate structures with blocks, taking care of a pet, or helping a parent in the kitchen. These early expressions of purpose are worth paying attention to, because they often reveal core aspects of who you are. Interests and inclinations that might fade into the background during the practical concerns of adulthood, but never truly disappear. In adolescence and young adulthood, Ikigai often becomes confused with achievement and external validation. You're supposed to figure out what you want to do with your life, choose a career path, build toward something. The pressure can be intense, and many young people end up pursuing goals that don't truly align with their authentic interests and values because they're trying to meet others' expectations or achieve conventional markers of success. This is a difficult time for Ikigai because you're still figuring out who you are while facing pressure to make major life decisions. In middle adulthood, many people experience an Ikigai crisis. You've built a life, established a career, maybe raised children, and suddenly you wonder if this is all there is. The goals that motivated you in your 20s and 30s might feel less compelling. You might feel a hunger for something more meaningful, more authentic to who you've become. This is actually a perfect time to explore Ikigai more deeply. You have experience and self-knowledge you lacked when you were younger. You might have more resources and flexibility. You can make changes, try new things, realign your life with what truly matters to you. In later adulthood and elderhood, Ikigai can become both clearer and more urgent. As you face your own mortality more directly, as you lose people you love, as your body changes and limits you in new ways, the question of what matters becomes more pressing. But this can also be a time of great clarity and satisfaction. Many elders report feeling more at peace with themselves, more certain about what's important, less concerned with others' opinions. This is the time of life when Ikigai can be most fully embodied. when you can focus on what truly brings meaning and joy without the distractions and obligations that dominated earlier decades. The Okinawan elders exemplify this later life Ikigai beautifully. They're not frantically trying to accomplish things or prove anything. They're simply living their purpose day by day, contributing to their families and communities in ways that feel natural and meaningful, enjoying the simple pleasures of life, maintaining the connections and practices that have sustained them. There's a grace and dignity in how they've integrated Ikigai into every aspect of their lives. One of the most important aspects of Ikigai that often gets overlooked in Western interpretations is the role of daily practice and ritual. Ikigai isn't just about identifying your purpose. It's about living it day after day through consistent action and attention. The Okinawan elders don't just have Ikigai as an abstract idea. They practice it through daily rituals and routines. This might mean tending your garden every morning, the same garden, the same practices year after year. It might mean practicing calligraphy every evening before bed. It might mean preparing and sharing meals with your family according to traditional recipes and customs. It might mean walking to the same local shrine each week to pray and meditate. These repeated actions, these daily practices, are how Ikigai becomes embodied and integrated into your life. There's wisdom in this that runs counter to much of modern culture, which values novelty, excitement, and constant change. But Ikigai teaches us that meaning is often found in repetition, in doing the same meaningful things over and over, allowing them to deepen and reveal new layers over time. The tea ceremony is a perfect example of this. The same basic actions, repeated thousands of times, each time an opportunity for mindfulness, precision, and connection. Each repetition deepens your understanding and appreciation. You're not trying to get somewhere or achieve something. You're simply practicing, being present, honoring the moment. This is why routine and ritual are so important for embodying your Ikigai. When you identify what matters to you, you need to find ways to engage with it regularly, not just when you feel inspired or have free time. Make it part of your daily or weekly rhythm. If your Ikigai involves writing, write every day, even if only for 15 minutes. If it involves helping others, find a regular volunteer commitment. If it involves spiritual practice, create a daily ritual. The regularity itself becomes meaningful. It's a way of honoring your purpose, of saying through your actions that this matters enough to make time for it every single day. Let's breathe together for a moment. In through your nose, slow and easy. Out through your mouth, even slower, letting go of any remaining tension. Feel how supported you are right now. The surface beneath you is holding you. You don't have to hold yourself up. You can just rest, just listen, just be. Now let's explore Ikigai in relation to some specific philosophical and spiritual traditions that have influenced or parallel the concept. While Ikigai is distinctly Japanese, similar ideas appear in various cultures and wisdom traditions around the world, each offering a slightly different perspective on purpose and meaning. In Buddhism, there's the concept of dharma, which has multiple meanings but includes the idea of your righteous duty or the way you're meant to live. Each person has their own dharma, their own path that's in harmony with the nature of reality. Living according to your dharma brings peace and fulfillment, while going against it creates suffering. This is similar to Ikigai in that it's about aligning your life with your true nature and purpose. The Buddhist emphasis on reducing suffering, both your own and others, also connects to the Ikigai principle of doing what the world needs. In Taoism, there's the concept of Wu Wei, often translated as effortless action, or action in accordance with the natural flow. It's about moving with life rather than against it, finding the path of least resistance that still accomplishes what needs to be done. When you're living your Ikigai, there's often a quality of Wu Wei to it. It's not that everything is easy, but there's a sense of rightness, of flowing with, rather than struggling against your nature and circumstances. In ancient Greek philosophy, particularly in Aristotle, there's the concept of eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or the good life. Aristotle argued that eudaimonia comes from living virtuously and developing your potential, from becoming the best version of yourself. This requires knowing yourself, understanding your unique talents and capacities, and then cultivating them. This self-actualization aspect connects strongly to Ikigai's emphasis on knowing what you're good at and developing those skills in service of something larger than yourself. In Hindu philosophy, there's the concept of svadharma, your own individual duty or calling. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna teaches Arjuna that each person has their own dharma, and that following it, even imperfectly, is better than trying to follow someone else's path, even if you could do it perfectly. This idea that you have a unique purpose that's yours alone, and that discovering and following it is essential to living well, is very similar to Ikigai. In the Jewish mystical tradition of Kabbalah, there's the teaching that each soul comes into the world with a specific purpose, a tikkun or correction that only they can make. You're born with certain gifts and challenges, and your life's work is to use those gifts to heal some small part of the world, to contribute to the repair of reality. This emphasis on using your unique gifts in service of collective healing parallels the Ikigai concept of finding the intersection between what you're good at and what the world needs. In Christian monasticism, particularly in the Benedictine tradition, there's the concept of ora et labora, prayer and work, the idea that both contemplation and action are necessary for a meaningful life. Your work, whatever it is, can be a form of prayer if done with the right intention and attention. This sacralization of ordinary work, the idea that what you do every day can be meaningful and even holy, is very much in harmony with the Ikigai understanding that purpose can be found in simple, daily activities. In Islamic Sufism, there's the teaching about discovering your unique station or maqam, the particular place in creation that only you can occupy. Each person has a role to play in the divine plan, and spiritual development involves discovering what that role is and fulfilling it with excellence and devotion. This combines the idea of individual purpose with the surrender to something larger than yourself, a balance that's also present in Ikigai. These various traditions, while different in their specifics and their cultural contexts, all point towards similar truths: that each person has a unique purpose or path, that discovering and living according to that purpose brings fulfillment and peace, that your purpose should involve both developing your own potential and serving something beyond yourself, and that living with purpose requires self-knowledge, discipline, and ongoing practice. What Ikigai offers that's somewhat unique is its practicality and its integration into everyday life. While many spiritual traditions frame purpose in grand or cosmic terms, Ikigai can be quite humble and ordinary. Your reason for being might be making beautiful pottery, or caring for your grandchildren, or maintaining a garden. It doesn't have to be spiritually exalted or world-changing. It just has to be yours and bring meaning to your life. Let's look at how Ikigai relates to the modern challenges of burnout, anxiety, and the sense of meaninglessness that many people struggle with today. In many developed countries, rates of depression, anxiety, and suicide have been rising, despite material prosperity being higher than ever before. People have access to more goods, more entertainment, more comfort than previous generations, yet report feeling less happy and less fulfilled. Why? One major factor is the loss of meaning and purpose. When work is just a way to pay bills, when relationships are shallow and transactional, when you're constantly stimulated but never truly engaged, when every moment is scheduled and optimized, but nothing feels deeply satisfying, you end up exhausted and empty. This is the opposite of Ikigai. It's a life full of activity but devoid of meaning. Burnout, which has become epidemic in many professions, is what happens when you're giving and giving without being replenished by a sense of purpose. You might be working incredibly hard, but if that work doesn't connect to your deeper values and sense of meaning, if it's not part of your Ikigai, then you're burning fuel without generating warmth. Eventually, you run out. Ikigai offers a path out of this trap. When you identify what truly matters to you and begin organizing your life around it, even if you can't do it perfectly or completely, you create a source of renewable energy. Activities that connect to your Ikigai don't just drain you, they also replenish you in some way. Yes, they might be tiring. Yes, they require effort, but they also give back meaning, satisfaction, a sense that your time and energy are being spent on something worthwhile. This doesn't mean you should quit your job and only do what you love. That's not realistic for most people, and it's not what Ikigai teaches. But it does mean looking for ways to bring more purpose and meaning into your life, whether that's through your work, through activities outside of work, through your relationships, or through some combination. It also means being willing to let go of things that don't serve your Ikigai, which can be challenging. We all have commitments and obligations that we can't simply abandon. But often, upon honest examination, we're doing things out of habit, guilt, or fear, rather than genuine necessity or alignment with our values. You might be serving on a committee you don't care about because you feel like you should. You might be maintaining friendships that drain you because you've known these people for years. You might be pursuing goals that don't actually matter to you because you absorbed the message that you should want them. Ikigai invites you to be more intentional and selective, about how you spend your time and energy. This isn't selfishness. It's stewardship of your own life. When you're clear about your purpose and you organize your life around it, you actually have more to give to others because you're not depleted and resentful. You're acting from fullness rather than from obligation. Let's talk about the relationship between Ikigai and flow, the psychological state identified by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, where you're completely absorbed in an activity, losing track of time, experiencing both challenge and skill in perfect balance. Flow states are deeply satisfying, and people often describe them as times when they feel most alive and most themselves. There's significant overlap between activities that generate flow and activities that constitute your Ikigai. Both involve doing something you're skilled at that challenges you appropriately, neither too easy nor too difficult. Both involve intrinsic motivation, doing something because it's inherently satisfying, rather than for external rewards. Both involve a sense of being fully present and engaged. However, flow is a temporary state, while Ikigai is a more enduring framework for your life. You can experience flow while playing a video game, but unless gaming connects to your larger purpose in some way, it's probably not your Ikigai. Conversely, not every moment of living your Ikigai will be a flow state. Sometimes you'll be doing the tedious parts, the difficult parts, the parts that require discipline rather than inspiration. But the overall arc of what you're doing still feels meaningful and worthwhile. The ideal, perhaps, is to have Ikigai that regularly generates flow states, where you're engaged in purposeful activity that also brings you those moments of complete absorption and timelessness. But even without consistent flow, Ikigai provides the deeper satisfaction of knowing that your life is pointing toward something, that what you're doing matters, that you have a reason for being here. Now let's consider the challenges and potential pitfalls in pursuing Ikigai, because like any concept, it can be misunderstood or misapplied in ways that actually create more suffering rather than less. One pitfall is turning Ikigai into another source of pressure and inadequacy. If you approach it with the mindset that you must find your one true purpose or you're failing at life, you're setting yourself up for anxiety and disappointment. Remember, Ikigai is meant to be discovered gently over time. It's meant to reduce stress and bring meaning, not to become another item on your to-do list or another way you're not measuring up. Another pitfall is using Ikigai as an excuse to be selfish or to neglect your responsibilities. The concept does emphasize following your passion and doing what brings you fulfillment. But it also, crucially, includes what the world needs and what serves others. Your Ikigai can't be something that harms others or neglects your basic obligations. If you're a parent, you can't justify abandoning your children to go find yourself. Your children are part of what the world, your immediate world, needs from you. Your Ikigai has to include caring for them, though hopefully in a way that also expresses who you are and what you value. A third pitfall is expecting your Ikigai to be constant and unchanging. As mentioned earlier, Ikigai evolves throughout your life. What gave your life meaning in your 20s might not be what sustains you in your 50s. What you're capable of and what the world needs from you changes as circumstances change. Being rigid about your Ikigai, clinging to an identity or purpose that no longer fits, creates suffering. Part of the practice is staying present and honest with yourself, noticing when something that once felt meaningful now feels empty, and being willing to explore new directions. A fourth pitfall is isolating yourself in pursuit of your Ikigai. While the concept includes doing what you love and what you're good at, it also inherently involves connection, contribution, and community. If your pursuit of purpose is making you more isolated, more disconnected from others, something is off. True Ikigai should enhance your relationships and your sense of belonging, not diminish them. A fifth pitfall is confusing Ikigai with passion alone. The Western focus on passion, on following your bliss, is only one element of Ikigai. Yes, you should enjoy what you're doing. Yes, it should energize you, but it also needs to involve skill, service, and sustainability. Passion without these other elements is just a hobby or a fleeting interest. There's nothing wrong with hobbies and interests, but they're not the same as Ikigai. Let your mind drift for a moment if it wants to. You might be feeling sleepy now. That's perfect. Just let yourself float on these words, not trying to hold on to anything, just listening and drifting. There's no test later. There's nowhere to get to. Just this moment, just this breath, just this gentle exploration. Let's explore some practical exercises and approaches for discovering and developing your Ikigai. These aren't rigid prescriptions, but rather invitations to self-exploration. Things you can try at your own pace, in your own way. One powerful practice is the life review. Set aside some time, perhaps over several sessions, to reflect on your life story so far. Write about or simply remember key moments, times when you felt most alive, most engaged, most fulfilled. Times when you felt like you were exactly where you were supposed to be, doing what you were supposed to do. Also reflect on times when you felt dead inside, disconnected, like you were wasting your life. Look for patterns. What were the common elements in the good moments? What was missing in the difficult ones? Another practice is the 5 whys. When you feel drawn to something, when an idea or activity captures your interest, ask yourself why it matters to you, and then ask why that reason matters. Keep going deeper, asking why 5 times or more, until you get to the root of what's actually calling you. For example, you might say, I want to learn pottery. Why? Because I like working with my hands. Why does that matter? Because it helps me feel grounded and present. Why is that important to you? Because so much of my life is abstract and mental and disconnected from physical reality. Keep going until you touch something fundamental about who you are and what you need. A third practice is noticing your energy. Pay attention throughout your day to what energizes you and what depletes you. This isn't about what's easy versus hard, because sometimes challenging things energize us. It's about what makes you feel more alive versus what makes you feel like you're dying inside. Keep a simple log if it helps. At the end of each day, note what you spent time on and how it affected your energy. patterns will emerge. A fourth practice is the gift inventory. Make a list of your gifts, talents, and strengths. Include things you're naturally good at, things people often thank you for or ask your help with, skills you've developed, knowledge you've accumulated. Don't be modest. This isn't about bragging. It's about honest self-assessment. Then consider how these gifts might be used in service of something meaningful. What problems could they help solve? What beauty could they create? How could they reduce suffering or increase well-being? A fifth practice is the wisdom council. This is something you can do in your imagination. Imagine gathering a council of the wisest people you know, living or dead, real or fictional. These might be your grandparents, great teachers, spiritual figures, authors who've influenced you, anyone whose wisdom you trust. In your mind, ask them about your purpose, about what they see in you, about what the world needs from you. Let them speak. You might be surprised by what emerges from your subconscious when you give it permission to speak through these imagined voices. A sixth practice is volunteering and experimenting. Actually go out and try things. Volunteer in different settings. Take classes in various subjects. Say yes to opportunities that interest you, even if you're not sure where they'll lead. You can't figure out your Ikigai purely through introspection. You have to engage with the world, see what resonates, notice what you want to keep doing, and what you're happy to leave behind. A seventh practice is talking with elders. If you have access to older people who seem to have lived meaningful lives, ask them about their experiences. How did they discover what mattered to them? What would they do differently if they could? What do they wish they'd known when they were your age? Elders who've integrated Ikigai into their lives have wisdom that can't be found in books. An eighth practice is simplification. Often, we're so busy and overstimulated that we can't hear our own inner voice telling us what matters. Create space in your life. Reduce commitments that aren't essential. Spend less time on social media and consuming content. Create regular periods of quiet where you can just be with yourself without distraction. In that space, your Ikigai has room to emerge. Let's talk about Ikigai in relationships, because for many people, connection with others is central to their sense of purpose. The Moai groups in Okinawa are a beautiful example of this. These are social circles, usually 5 to 7 people who have known each other since childhood or adolescence. They meet regularly, sometimes daily, share meals, support each other through difficulties, celebrate each other's joys, and hold each other accountable. The Moai serves multiple functions. It provides social connection, combating the loneliness that's so harmful to health. It provides practical support when someone needs help. It provides a sense of belonging and being known. But perhaps most importantly, it provides a sense of mutual obligation and purpose. You show up for your Moai not just because it feels good, though it does, but because you know these people are depending on you, and you're depending on them. You're part of something larger than yourself. In Western culture, we often don't have this kind of lifelong social structure. Friendships tend to be more fluid, based on proximity and circumstances that change. When you move, change jobs, or enter a new life phase, your friendships often change too. This can make it harder to experience the relationship-based Ikigai that's so central in Okinawan culture. But you can create something similar, even within a more individualistic culture. It requires intention and commitment. You have to decide that you're going to invest in certain relationships, show up consistently, be there through thick and thin. You have to be willing to be vulnerable, to ask for help when you need it, and offer help when others do. You have to treat your close relationships as a practice, something you tend to and cultivate over time. For some people, family provides this kind of relational Ikigai. Being a devoted parent, grandparent, sibling, or child can be deeply meaningful work. For others, it's chosen family, friends who become like family. For still others, it might be a spiritual community, a volunteer group, a creative collective, or some other form of intentional community. The key is that it's not just about having people in your life. It's about having relationships where you're truly seen and known, where you matter to others and they matter to you, where there's real interdependence and mutual support. This kind of deep connection is increasingly rare in modern society, but it's also increasingly necessary for well-being and meaning. There's also Ikigai in the role you play within your relationships and community. Maybe you're the one who remembers everyone's birthday and makes sure they feel celebrated. Maybe you're the one who brings humor and lightness when things get too serious. Maybe you're the one people come to when they need practical help or wise counsel. These roles are part of your purpose, part of how you contribute, and what makes you valuable to your community. In traditional societies, these roles were often more clearly defined. You were the elder, the healer, the teacher, the storyteller, the craftsperson, the warrior, the caregiver. Modern society is more fluid and less role-based in some ways, which offers freedom, but also confusion. Part of discovering your Ikigai is figuring out what role or roles feel right for you, what you're naturally good at, and called to in the context of your relationships and community. Let's talk about Ikigai and creativity. Because for many people, the urge to create, to bring something new into existence, is central to their sense of purpose. Humans are creative beings. We've been making things, telling stories, singing songs, decorating our bodies and our homes since the very beginning of our species. Creativity seems to be part of what makes us human. When you create something, whether it's a meal, a garden, a piece of music, a story, a handmade object, a solution to a problem, you're engaging in a fundamentally meaningful act. You're taking your inner world, your vision, your unique perspective, and you're making it manifest in physical reality. You're leaving a mark. You're saying, I was here. I saw something, felt something, imagined something, and I made it real. For some people, creativity is their primary Ikigai. They're artists, writers, musicians, craftspeople, designers, inventors. Their reason for being is intimately connected to the act of creation. But you don't have to be a professional creative for this to be part of your Ikigai. You might be someone who cooks elaborate meals for your family, creating not just sustenance but beauty, pleasure, and connection. You might be someone who grows flowers and shares the bouquets with neighbors. You might be someone who tells stories to children, improvising adventures that delight and inspire. You might be someone who solves technical problems in creative ways, finding elegant solutions that make systems work better. The creative impulse wants to flow through you. When you block it, when you tell yourself you're not creative, or you don't have time for such things, you're blocking a source of vitality and meaning. This doesn't mean you need to quit your job and become an artist. It means finding ways, even small ways, to let your creativity express itself. Maybe it's keeping a journal. Maybe it's doodling, maybe it's rearranging your living space. Maybe it's trying new recipes. Maybe it's playing with your kids. However it shows up for you, make room for it. There's also profound satisfaction in developing skill in a creative practice over time. When you first start painting or playing an instrument, or writing or gardening, you're clumsy and frustrated. What you imagine and what you can actually produce are painfully far apart. But if you keep practicing, you gradually get better. The gap between vision and execution narrows. You gain mastery, and this growth, this gradual development of skill, is itself deeply satisfying. It's evidence that you can change, improve, become more capable. It builds confidence and self-esteem in a way that no amount of positive affirmations can match. Many of the Okinawan elders have creative practices they've maintained for decades. The potter, who has been making the same basic shapes for 50 years, but each one is slightly different, slightly better, informed by all the previous attempts. The calligrapher, whose hand has grown so steady and sure that each brush stroke is exactly as intended. The weaver, whose patterns have become more intricate and beautiful over the years. They're not creating to become famous or wealthy. They're creating because it's part of who they are, part of their Ikigai, part of how they engage with life. Your breath is slow and even now. Your body has released so much of its tension. You're drifting in that space between waking and sleeping, that gentle twilight where thoughts come and go like clouds. That's perfect. Just rest there. Let these words be a soft stream you're floating on, carrying you gently toward sleep. Let's explore Ikigai and nature, because for many people, connection with the natural world is essential to their sense of meaning and purpose. In Okinawa, this connection is woven into daily life. People garden, they walk in nature, they eat seasonal foods, they live in harmony with the rhythms of the natural world. This isn't something they think about consciously as much as it's just how life is lived. There's something fundamentally grounding about contact with nature. When you put your hands in soil, when you watch plants grow, when you observe the changing seasons, when you feel sun on your face and wind in your hair, you're reminded that you're part of something larger, something ancient, something that was here long before you and will be here long after. This perspective is both humbling and comforting. For some people, environmental stewardship becomes their Ikigai. They dedicate their lives to protecting wild places, restoring damaged ecosystems, fighting climate change, or educating others about environmental issues. They're driven by love for the natural world and grief at its destruction, and their purpose is to be part of the healing. But even if environmental work isn't your career or primary focus, you can have nature connection as part of your Ikigai. Maybe you're someone who tends a small garden, growing vegetables or flowers. Maybe you're someone who goes birding, learning to identify species and tracking their migrations. Maybe you're someone who hikes regularly, finding peace and clarity in wild places. Maybe you're someone who brings the outdoors in, filling your home with plants, opening windows to let fresh air circulate, organizing your life around natural light. This connection to nature can also inform how you approach your work and your relationships. When you observe natural systems, you see patterns that can teach you about balance, about growth and decay, about resilience and adaptation, about the interconnection of all things. A forest doesn't try to grow everything all at once. Seeds germinate when conditions are right. Plants grow at their own pace. Dead trees fall and become homes for new life. Everything has its season. These same principles can guide your Ikigai. You don't need to force things. You plant seeds through your explorations and experiments. You tend what grows. You trust the process. You accept that some efforts will bear fruit and others won't, and that's okay. You remain patient and attentive. You work with your own nature rather than against it, just as a good gardener works with the nature of the plants and the land. Let's talk about Ikigai and spirituality, while being careful not to prescribe any particular spiritual or religious path. For many people throughout history and across cultures, spiritual practice has been central to their sense of meaning and purpose. This might be formal religious participation, personal meditation or prayer practice, study of sacred texts, pilgrimage, ritual, service motivated by faith, or simply a sense of connection to something larger than yourself, however you conceive of that. In Japan, spirituality is often a blend of Shinto and Buddhist influences, along with Confucian ethics and, in some cases, Christian or other religious elements. For many Japanese people, spirituality isn't about believing specific doctrines. It's about maintaining proper relationships with the sacred, with ancestors, with the cycles of nature, with the community. Rituals mark important moments. Shrines and temples provide places for reflection and prayer. Festivals connect people to tradition and to each other. For someone with spiritual Ikigai, their purpose might be found in their practice itself. The monk whose Ikigai is meditation, studying Dharma, and serving others. The priest whose Ikigai is conducting ceremonies and counseling parishioners. The pilgrim whose Ikigai is the journey itself, visiting sacred sites and deepening their connection to the divine. The healer whose Ikigai combines practical skill with spiritual calling. But spiritual Ikigai doesn't require being a religious professional. You might be someone whose daily meditation practice is central to your well-being and sense of purpose. You might be someone who finds meaning in studying wisdom traditions from around the world, You might be someone whose sense of the sacred infuses everything you do, making even ordinary activities feel like prayer. You might be someone who experiences the divine in nature, in creativity, in service to others, in moments of deep connection. What's important is that if spirituality is part of your Ikigai, it should enhance your life and your relationships, should help you be more compassionate and present, should give you strength and perspective during difficult times. Spirituality that makes you judgmental, fearful, or disconnected from others has gone astray from Ikigai, even if it's wrapped in religious language. There's also secular spirituality, a sense of awe, meaning, and connection that doesn't involve belief in deities or supernatural realms. You might experience this when you look at the stars and contemplate the vastness of the universe. You might experience it when you witness the birth of a child or sit with someone who's dying. You might experience it in moments of profound beauty or deep silence. This sense of something larger, something sacred, something worthy of reverence can be part of Ikigai regardless of your religious beliefs or lack thereof. Now let's consider Ikigai and learning, because for some people, the pursuit of knowledge and understanding is central to their purpose. These are people who are naturally curious, who love learning for its own sake, who are always reading, studying, asking questions, trying to understand how things work and why things are the way they are. In Japanese culture, there's a tradition of becoming a master of something, dedicating your life to deep understanding and skill in a particular area. This might be a martial art, a craft, an art form, a field of study. The journey to mastery is understood to be lifelong. You never fully arrive. There's always more to learn, more nuance to appreciate, more depth to explore. This itself becomes the purpose, the pursuit, not the achievement. For someone whose Ikigai is centered on learning and mastery, their days might be organized around study and practice. They might read for hours, attend lectures and workshops, practice their skills, engage in discussions with others in their field, teach what they've learned. The process is its own reward. They're not necessarily trying to become famous or wealthy, though that might happen. They're driven by love of the subject itself, by the satisfaction of understanding, by the growth that comes from pushing yourself to learn more. This kind of Ikigai can manifest in any field. You might be someone who's devoted to understanding history, reading everything you can about a particular period or place. You might be someone who's fascinated by languages, working to become fluent in multiple languages and understanding the ways different languages shape thought. You might be someone who's dedicated to a scientific field, contributing to the expansion of human knowledge. You might be someone who's mastering a craft, learning not just the techniques, but the philosophy and aesthetics behind them. The important thing is that the learning itself is meaningful to you, not just a means to an end. You're not studying for degrees or certifications, though you might earn them along the way. You're studying because you genuinely want to know, understand, be able to do. This intrinsic motivation is what sustains you through the difficult parts, the frustrations and setbacks that are inevitable in any learning journey. There's also the Ikigai of teaching, passing on what you've learned to others. For many masters in Japan, teaching becomes the later expression of their Ikigai. After years of learning and practicing, they begin to share their knowledge with students. The relationship between teacher and student is sacred, a transmission not just of information, but of a way of being, a way of approaching the art or craft. You don't have to be a master to teach. Teaching is also a way of learning, of deepening your own understanding. When you have to explain something to someone else, you have to organize your thoughts, find clear ways to articulate what you know, anticipate questions and confusions. This process deepens your own knowledge. Many people find that teaching is where their learning truly clicks into place. Your eyes are so heavy now. Your body has sunk deep into rest. Your breathing is slow and gentle, like waves on a peaceful shore. You might not be following every word anymore, and that's perfect. Just let the sound of these words carry you deeper into sleep, deeper into peace. Let's explore Ikigai and simplicity, because in a world that often equates more with better, that pushes constant growth and accumulation, there's profound wisdom in choosing simplicity instead. The Okinawan way of life is relatively simple by modern standards. People there don't have a lot of possessions. They live in modest homes. They eat simple, mostly plant-based foods. They don't chase after the latest gadgets or fashion. And yet, or perhaps because of this, they report high levels of life satisfaction. There's a concept in Japanese aesthetics and philosophy called ma, which refers to negative space, to the gaps and pauses, to what's not there. In a painting, ma is the empty space that makes the painted elements stand out. In music, ma is the silence between notes. In a room, ma is the open space that allows the few objects present to be truly appreciated. In a life, ma is the space between activities, the time when you're not doing anything in particular, just being. Western culture tends to fear ma, to fill it with activity, noise, stuff. We pack our schedules, fill our homes, clutter our minds. But Ikigai often requires ma, requires space for reflection, for rest, for letting things emerge naturally. When your life is too full, too busy, too cluttered, there's no room for your Ikigai to breathe and grow. Simplifying your life can be part of discovering and living your Ikigai. This might mean decluttering your physical space, getting rid of possessions that don't serve you or bring you joy. It might mean simplifying your schedule, saying no to commitments that aren't aligned with your purpose. It might mean simplifying your information diet, consuming less news and social media and entertainment. It might mean simplifying your relationships, investing more in the few people who truly matter and less in maintaining superficial connections. This doesn't mean becoming a minimalist ascetic unless that genuinely calls to you. It means being intentional about what you include in your life, choosing things that support your Ikigai and letting go of things that don't. It means understanding that often less is more, that space and simplicity can be gifts rather than deprivations. There's also simplicity in routine and ritual, doing the same meaningful things over and over rather than constantly seeking novelty. This might seem boring to a culture that values excitement and variety, but there's deep satisfaction in simple rituals done with attention and care. Making tea the same way every morning, walking the same path each day, and noticing how it changes with the seasons. Preparing traditional meals for your family. These repetitive actions become meditative. Grounding, connecting you to something larger than the immediate moment. Let's talk about Ikigai and aging, because this is where the concept really shines. In many Western cultures, aging is seen as decline, as loss, as something to fight against or at least endure. You retire from work and are supposed to fill your time with leisure activities. But often, people who retire without a clear sense of purpose struggle. They may have looked forward to retirement for years, but once they're there, they feel lost, useless, without meaning. In Okinawa and in Japanese culture more broadly, aging is understood differently. Elders are respected for their wisdom and experience. They continue to contribute to their families and communities. They don't retire in the sense of ceasing all meaningful activity. They may change what they do, focusing more on teaching, storytelling, maintaining traditions, caring for grandchildren, but they remain engaged and purposeful. Ikigai is what allows this. Because their purpose isn't tied solely to paid employment or physical capability, it can continue even as those things change. The potter with arthritis can no longer throw pots all day, but can still teach apprentices and share the wisdom accumulated over decades. The farmer who can no longer work the fields can still advise on planting and harvest, can still maintain the family shrine, can still pass on stories of previous seasons and years. This is such an important lesson for all of us as we age. You need to develop Ikigai that can evolve with you, that doesn't depend entirely on things that will inevitably change or diminish. If your entire identity and purpose is wrapped up in being physically strong, or mentally sharp, or professionally successful, what happens when those things fade? But if your Ikigai includes elements like relationships, creativity, spiritual practice, service, teaching, then you can continue to live purposefully at any age and in any condition. There's also the Ikigai of accepting your aging, working with it rather than against it. This doesn't mean giving up or not taking care of yourself. It means understanding that aging is natural, that your body will change, that your energy and capabilities will shift, and that there's dignity and even beauty in this process. Fighting against aging, trying desperately to stay young, can actually disconnect you from your authentic Ikigai, because you're not accepting the truth of where you are in life. The Okinawan elders show us what graceful aging looks like. They're not trying to be young. They're fully inhabiting their elderhood, bringing the gifts that only elders can bring. Perspective, wisdom, patience, acceptance. They understand that each stage of life has its own purpose, its own form of Ikigai, and they've learned to transition between stages with grace. Let your awareness soften even more now. You don't need to hold on to these words. They're here if you want them, but you can also let them go. Let them fade into the background as you drift deeper into rest. Your body knows how to sleep. Your mind knows how to let go. Just trust the process. Now let's explore Ikigai and challenge, because meaningful life isn't about avoiding difficulty. It's about facing challenges in service of something that matters. The concept of gamen, enduring hardship with patience and dignity, is important here. When you're living your Ikigai, you will face obstacles. Things won't always be easy or pleasant, but the difficulties you encounter are part of the path, not obstacles to it. This is very different from suffering meaninglessly. If you're in a job you hate doing work that feels pointless, the difficulties you face are just difficulties. They don't lead anywhere or teach you anything. They're simply to be endured until you can escape. But if you're pursuing your Ikigai and you encounter challenges, those challenges have meaning. They're opportunities for growth, for developing strength and skill, for deepening your commitment. Think of the potter learning their craft. The first 100 pots they make will be clumsy and misshapen. Their hands will ache. They'll want to quit. But if pottery is part of their Ikigai, they'll persist through this difficult phase because they can feel that they're moving towards something important. The struggle has meaning. Or think of the person whose Ikigai involves caring for an aging parent. The work is hard, physically and emotionally exhausting. There are days when they're overwhelmed and resentful, but underlying the difficulty is love and commitment, a sense that this is what they're meant to be doing right now, that this is their purpose, even when it's painful. Ikigai doesn't protect you from suffering, but it gives suffering meaning. It provides a framework for understanding why you're going through what you're going through. It helps you endure because you can see that the difficulty is in service of something larger. This is incredibly powerful. Viktor Frankl, a psychologist who survived Nazi concentration camps, wrote about this in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. He observed that the prisoners who survived weren't necessarily the strongest or healthiest. They were the ones who had a reason to survive, a purpose that pulled them forward. Those who lost their sense of meaning, who couldn't see any reason to keep going, often gave up and died even if they were physically capable of surviving. This is an extreme example, but the principle applies to ordinary life challenges as well. When you're facing difficulty, asking yourself how this relates to your Ikigai, how this challenge might be part of your larger purpose, can help you find the strength to keep going. There's also the idea that some challenges themselves become part of your Ikigai. Overcoming a serious illness might become a calling to help others facing similar health crises. Surviving poverty might fuel a commitment to fighting for economic justice. Working through your own trauma might lead you to become a therapist or healer. The wound becomes the gift. The difficulty transforms into purpose. This doesn't mean that all suffering is good or necessary. Some suffering is simply destructive and should be avoided or ended as quickly as possible. But when suffering is unavoidable, when you're in the midst of difficulty you can't escape, finding how it might connect to your purpose can make it more bearable and even transformative. Let's talk about Ikigai and authenticity, because one of the most important aspects of the concept is that your purpose must be truly yours, not something imposed by others, or adopted because you think you should want it. So much suffering comes from living according to others' expectations, pursuing goals that don't actually resonate with who you are. Maybe you became a lawyer because your parents expected it, but you've always been drawn to working with your hands, building things, creating physical objects. Maybe you've stayed in a career you're good at but don't enjoy because it pays well and seems like the sensible thing to do. Maybe you've organized your life around taking care of everyone else's needs and have no idea what you actually want or need. These disconnections from your authentic self create a sense of emptiness and frustration that no amount of external success can fill. Discovering your Ikigai requires being honest with yourself about who you actually are, what you actually care about, what actually brings you satisfaction and meaning. This can be scary because it might mean acknowledging that you've been on the wrong path, that you need to make changes, that you'll disappoint people who have expectations of you. But living someone else's idea of what your life should be isn't sustainable. Eventually, the disconnect becomes too painful. This doesn't mean you should be completely selfish or irresponsible. Your Ikigai has to include consideration of what the world needs and what serves others. But it also has to be authentic to you, rooted in your actual talents, interests, and values, not in what you think you should be or what others want you to be. The Okinawan elders can teach us about this authenticity. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're not performing or pretending. They're simply being themselves, doing what matters to them, living according to their own sense of what's right and meaningful. There's a freedom and peace in this that comes only when you stop trying to be something you're not and accept who you actually are. Part of this authenticity is accepting your limitations. You're not good at everything. You're not interested in everything. Some paths aren't open to you because of your circumstances, your abilities, your stage of life. That's okay. Your Ikigai doesn't require you to be superhuman or to do everything. It only requires you to be yourself and to do what you can do with what you have where you are. There's also authenticity in acknowledging that your Ikigai might not look impressive to others. It might not be prestigious or lucrative or conventionally successful. It might be quite ordinary and humble. But if it's truly yours, if it brings you meaning and satisfaction, if it allows you to contribute something valuable to the world in your own way, then it's enough. More than enough. Breathe slowly, in and out. Feel your body completely relaxed now, heavy and soft. Feel yourself floating in that space between waking and dreaming. There's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be. Just this breath, just this moment, just this gentle drift toward sleep. Let's explore Ikigai and community, because individual purpose always exists in relationship to others. Even the most solitary Ikigai, like a hermit's spiritual practice, still connects to the larger human community in some way, perhaps through prayers for the world or through the example of a different way of living. In Okinawa, community is central. The Moai groups we discussed earlier are one expression of this, but it goes deeper. There's a sense that you're not just an individual, but a member of a family, a village. a larger social fabric. Your purpose includes maintaining and strengthening these connections. You show up for community events. You help neighbors when they need it. You participate in festivals and ceremonies. You honor your ancestors and teach younger generations. This communal orientation provides both support and accountability. Your community supports your Ikigai by valuing what you contribute, by appreciating your role, by helping you when you struggle. But the community also holds you accountable, expects you to fulfill your obligations, to show up, to contribute your part. You can't just drift away or give up because people are depending on you. In more individualistic Western cultures, building this kind of community requires intention. You have to actively create it because it doesn't exist by default. This might mean joining or forming a group of like-minded people, whether that's a spiritual community, a volunteer organization, a creative collective, a neighborhood association, or a group of friends who commit to regular connection. It also means being a good community member yourself, which is its own form of Ikigai. Showing up reliably, being someone others can count on, offering help without being asked, celebrating others' successes, supporting others through difficulties, maintaining relationships even when it's inconvenient. These actions strengthen the social fabric and give your life meaning. There's also Ikigai in the specific role you play in your community. Maybe you're the organizer, the one who brings people together and makes things happen. Maybe you're the nurturer, the one who takes care of people and makes sure everyone feels included. Maybe you're the teacher, sharing your knowledge and skills. Maybe you're the comedian, bringing lightness and laughter. Maybe you're the steady one, reliable and consistent. These roles emerge naturally based on your personality and gifts, and they're part of how you contribute and find meaning. It's worth noting that your community doesn't have to be based on physical proximity. In our digital age, you might find community online, connecting with others who share your interests, values, or experiences, even if they're scattered across the world. While there are limitations to online community compared to in-person relationships, it can still provide real connection, support, and a sense of belonging. Let's talk about Ikigai and gratitude, because appreciation for what you have and what you're able to do is essential to contentment and meaning. In Japanese culture, there's a strong emphasis on gratitude, expressed through phrases like itadakimasu before meals, which acknowledges all the people and processes that brought the food to your table, and arigatou gozaimasu, a formal thank you that conveys deep appreciation. When you cultivate gratitude, you shift your focus from what's missing or lacking to what's present and good. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means recognizing that even in difficulty, there are things to appreciate, small moments of beauty or kindness or grace. Gratitude connects directly to Ikigai because when you appreciate what you have, including your own abilities and opportunities, you're more motivated to use them well, to contribute, to make the most of your life. If you take everything for granted or focus only on what you don't have, it's hard to feel purposeful. You're caught in a cycle of dissatisfaction that drains motivation and meaning. Many people whose Ikigai is clear and strong maintain gratitude practices. This might be keeping a gratitude journal, writing down a few things you're thankful for each day. It might be a prayer or meditation practice that includes appreciation. It might be simply taking moments throughout the day to notice and mentally acknowledge the good things. A beautiful sky, a kind word from a friend, a body that still works reasonably well, food to eat, a place to sleep. For the Okinawan elders, gratitude is woven into daily life. They're grateful for the food they eat, much of which they've grown themselves. They're grateful for their health and the health of their loved ones. They're grateful for the traditions passed down to them and the opportunity to pass them on. They're grateful for each new day, which they don't take for granted at their age. This gratitude doesn't make them passive or complacent. It makes them appreciative and purposeful, motivated to make good use of the gifts they've been given. There's also gratitude for challenges and difficulties, which might seem strange, but makes sense from an Ikigai perspective. If you believe that your purpose includes growth and contribution, then the challenges you face are opportunities for that growth and those contributions. You can be grateful for them, not because they feel good, but because they're part of your path, part of how you develop strength, wisdom, compassion, and skill. Let's explore Ikigai and legacy, because part of purpose is often about what you leave behind, how you contribute to something that will continue after you're gone. This doesn't have to be grand or public. Most people's legacies are small and personal. Children and grandchildren raised with love, students taught and inspired, a garden that continues to bloom, objects made with care that others will use and appreciate, traditions maintained and passed on, a community strengthened by your participation. In Japanese culture, there's strong awareness of connection across generations. You're connected backward to your ancestors, whose struggles and choices made your life possible. And you're connected forward to descendants and to the future, which you shape through your actions today. This long view provides perspective and purpose. You're not just living for yourself or for the moment. You're part of a much larger story that stretches across time. This can be part of your Ikigai. This sense of being a link in a chain, a bridge between past and future. What you do matters not just for how it affects you now, but for how it affects what comes after. The teacher whose influence extends through all the students they've taught, who in turn teach others. The craftsperson whose techniques and aesthetics are passed down through apprentices. The activist whose work contributes to slow social change that unfolds over decades. The parent whose values and ways of being are absorbed and continued by children and grandchildren. You don't have to have biological children for this to be part of your Ikigai. You can contribute to the future through mentoring, through teaching, through creating things that will last, through protecting things that should be preserved, through fighting for a better world even if you won't live to see the full results of your efforts. There's humility in this long view. You won't see the final outcomes of much of what you do. You're planting seeds that others will harvest. You're starting work that others will complete. You're contributing to changes that will unfold long after you're gone. This requires trust and acceptance that your contribution, while important, is also small in the grand scheme of things. You're one person, one lifetime, one thread in an enormous tapestry. But it's also empowering because it means your actions matter beyond your immediate circumstances. The kindness you show, the work you do, the values you embody ripple outward in ways you can't fully see or control. Every action creates consequences that cascade through time. By living your Ikigai with integrity and dedication, you're shaping the future in small but real ways. Your breathing is so slow and peaceful now. Your mind is quiet, drifting in that space where thoughts dissolve before they fully form. You're safe, you're comfortable, you're exactly where you need to be. Just let yourself sink deeper into this peaceful rest. Let's bring this exploration toward a close by thinking about how to sustain your Ikigai over the long term. Because discovering your purpose is just the beginning. Living it day after day, year after year, is the real practice. One key to sustaining Ikigai is flexibility and willingness to evolve. What gives your life meaning at 25 might not be what sustains you at 45 or 65. Your circumstances change. Your body changes. Your interests and capabilities shift. Holding too tightly to a fixed idea of your purpose can create suffering when that purpose no longer fits. Instead, stay present and honest with yourself. Notice when something that once felt meaningful starts to feel empty or forced. Be willing to explore new directions, to let go of identities and activities that no longer serve you, to grow into new forms of purpose as you change. Another key is daily practice and ritual. Don't wait for the perfect conditions or until you have more time, or until you feel inspired. Build your Ikigai into your daily rhythm in small, sustainable ways. If writing is part of your purpose, write every day, even if only for 15 minutes. If connection is your Ikigai, reach out to someone every day. If learning is central, engage with your subject of study daily. These small, consistent actions are more powerful than occasional grand gestures. They keep you connected to your purpose, even on days when you don't feel particularly motivated. A third key is community and accountability. Having others who know your purpose and support it makes a huge difference. This might be a formal group like the Moai, or it might be informal. A few close friends who understand what matters to you and encourage you to stay true to it. When you're struggling or doubting yourself, these people remind you of your purpose and why it matters. When you're succeeding and growing, they celebrate with you. Humans are social beings, and we need each other to sustain our purposes over time. A fourth key is self-compassion and patience. You will have days, weeks, maybe longer periods when you're not living your Ikigai as fully as you'd like. You'll get busy, distracted, discouraged. You'll make mistakes. You'll fail at things. This is normal and human. The practice is to notice without harsh judgment, to reconnect with your purpose gently, to begin again. Beating yourself up for not being perfect doesn't help. It just makes it harder to get back on track. A fifth key is regular reflection. Set aside time periodically, maybe monthly or quarterly, to reflect on your Ikigai. Is it still feeling meaningful and true? Are you actually spending time and energy on it? Or has it gotten crowded out by other demands? What adjustments might you need to make? What's working well? What needs attention? This conscious reflection prevents you from drifting too far off course without noticing. A sixth key is balance and sustainability. Your Ikigai should energize you more than it depletes you over the long term. If you're burning out, if you're exhausted and resentful, something is off. Maybe you need to adjust how you're pursuing your purpose. Maybe you need to set better boundaries. Maybe you need to include more rest and renewal. Remember that Ikigai is supposed to enhance your life, to make it more worth living. If it's making you miserable, you've lost the thread somewhere. A seventh key is celebrating small wins and milestones. You don't have to wait for some final achievement to feel satisfied. Notice and appreciate the small victories along the way. A difficult conversation handled well, a new skill mastered, a moment of genuine connection, a creation you're proud of, a day when everything felt aligned. These moments of recognition and celebration sustain you and remind you why you're doing what you're doing. An eighth key is remembering your why. When you're deep in the difficult middle of living your Ikigai, when you're facing obstacles and frustrations, it's easy to lose sight of why it matters. Return regularly to the core reason you're doing this. Maybe journal about it. Maybe tell someone why your purpose is important to you. Maybe spend time in meditation or reflection, reconnecting with the feeling of meaning and rightness that your Ikigai brings. This remembering reignites motivation and commitment. As we come to the end of our time together tonight, I want to leave you with a few final thoughts about Ikigai and the art of living well. Ikigai is not a destination you reach. It's not something you figure out once and then you're done. It's a practice, a way of approaching life, a continuous process of discovery and refinement. You're always living your way into your purpose, always learning more about yourself and the world, always adjusting and evolving. Ikigai is also deeply personal and unique. Your reason for being is yours alone. It won't look like anyone else's, and it shouldn't. The world needs your particular gifts, perspective, and contributions, not a copy of someone else's. Trust what calls to you, what brings you alive, what feels meaningful to you, even if it doesn't make sense to others. Ikigai is both simple and profound. It can be found in humble, everyday activities, as well as in grand life missions. Don't overlook the ordinary sources of meaning in your life while searching for something more impressive. Sometimes your Ikigai is right in front of you, in the daily rituals and relationships and small acts of care that make up a life. Ikigai connects you to something larger than yourself. Whether that's your community, future generations, the natural world, the divine, or simply the great mystery of existence, your purpose links you to the broader web of life. You're not isolated or alone. You belong, and what you do matters. Ikigai makes life worth living, especially in difficult times. When you have a reason to get up in the morning, when you know what you're here for, you can endure challenges that might otherwise overwhelm you. Purpose is protective. It builds resilience. It gives suffering meaning. And finally, Ikigai is available to everyone, regardless of age, circumstances, abilities, or resources. You don't need wealth or perfect health or ideal conditions to live purposefully. The Okinawan elders, many of whom lived through war and poverty, demonstrate this beautifully. What you need is willingness to be honest with yourself, to stay present with your life, to pay attention to what brings meaning, and to organize your days around what matters most. So as you drift off to sleep tonight, or whenever you return to rest after listening to this, I invite you to hold these questions gently in your awareness, not trying to answer them forcefully, but letting them rest in the back of your mind, allowing insights to emerge naturally over time. What makes you feel most alive? What activities make you lose track of time? What do you care about deeply? What breaks your heart or makes you angry in a way that suggests you're being called to help? What gifts do you have to offer? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What do you want to be remembered for? What small step could you take tomorrow to move toward a more purposeful life? These questions don't need answers right now. Just let them sit with you. Let them work on you beneath the surface. Your unconscious mind will continue processing them even as you sleep. And when you wake, whenever that is, you might find that you have new clarity, new ideas, new direction. Thank you for spending this time here exploring the beautiful concept of Ikigai. Thank you for being willing to think about purpose and meaning, to consider what makes a life worth living. Thank you for being here, breathing, existing, being part of this world. Your life has meaning. You have a reason for being. Even if you can't see it clearly yet, it's there, waiting to be discovered and lived. If this exploration has brought you any peace, comfort, insight, or simply helped you drift toward sleep, I'd be grateful if you'd like and subscribe to the channel. It helps other people find their way here too. Other seekers, other sensitive souls, other overthinkers who need a place to rest and reflect. And if you'd like to share your own thoughts about Ikigai, about purpose, about what gives your life meaning, feel free to leave a comment. This is a community of people exploring what it means to live well, and your perspective adds to that collective wisdom. But for now, there's nothing more you need to do. Close your eyes if they're not already closed. Let your body be completely soft and heavy. Let your mind release its grip on thoughts and simply float in gentle darkness. Let yourself be carried into sleep by the quiet knowledge that you matter, that your life has purpose, that you're exactly where you need to be on your own unique journey toward understanding your reason for being. Sleep well, dear friend. May you wake refreshed, and may you continue discovering day by day, moment by moment, what it means to live your Ikigai. Good night.